Okay, so my name is Ben Canny, and this video is going to be about my academic poster for the 6 month work placement I completed from March till the end of August. So my work placement was with Kirby Engineering and Construction. Um, our project was working on a hyperscale data center, and my job was an electrical project engineer. So Kirby, they're a Limerick founded company and one of Europe's leading mechanical electrical engineering contractors, 1,800 employees across data centers, life sciences, renewables, industrial and commercial. But nowadays, like many other construction or engineering contractors, they're leaning more and more towards data centers. So it's basically 90% data centers at this point. Um, and yeah, they're one of the biggest, definitely in Ireland and in Europe. They have projects spanning all across Europe, from Northern Europe, Central Europe, Western Europe, obviously Ireland. Um, so the company's responsibilities on this site. So the data center we were working on was an existing data center that's been, um, I think, running for around 6 years, 4 to 6 years, I think. And Kirby, I've only come onto this project within a little over a year ago. So we were tasked with the tenant fit out of this data center. So essentially, the data center was already built, um, but the client who owns the data center rents it out to their own clients. So essentially, we are almost retrofitting the data center to meet the client's requirements. Um, so again, we didn't have any sort of civil or real plumbing or any uh, those sorts of requirements on it. It was essentially just the mechanical and electrical tenant fit out on this data center that is in the Netherlands. Again, the precise location and the client is all highly confidential. This is one thing I've learned in this industry is a lot of this stuff is highly confidential. So I have to be careful not to say too much about where or who it's for. Um, so yeah, the MV and LV works, equipment installation, any ongoing changes needed as per client's request. So essentially when we got there, the whole building was there, but none of the equipment was there. None of the containment or the cabling was there. Um, so we had to install all the equipment such as your switchboards, your UPSOs, your UPSs. Your UPSs are uninterruptible power supplies. So it's basically if the power goes out of the data center, the generator stop running, it switches to these UPSs. Um, so the data center doesn't stop because it can't have any downtime, or else obviously like the data, it could be the data on your phone stops working, or your social media stops working, or something like that. So yeah, basically we had to install all the equipment. Obviously, I'm electrical, so that was our side of it. We also had mechanical, but they only lasted up until around May time. So from sort of May till August, and obviously till the end of the project, there's been no mechanical team, so it's very much just electrical at the minute. So my own tasks and responsibilities. Um, so one big thing about this is the labeling system. Bone tags are basically tags that are shaped like bones almost, that are put onto cables to basically tell you what circuit the cable is coming from. It's very important that this is so. I had to develop a system where you basically have them all in the correct space. They're all set up with the phases. So our data center, we were working on phases 4, 5, and 6. So you have to have labeling systems for 4, 5, and 6 separately with each string. So state phase 4 was strings QRST, phase 5 was ABCD, and 6 was MNOP. So again, as you can see, there's many layers of sort of what's the word, like organizing the different lines and the different strings to make sure obviously there's no confusion. And core IDs are also um are also for the different phases as well. So they're similar to bone tags. Um, so that was a big job. Very really tested like my organizational skills. As well as a fellow electrician could be asking me for a bone tag and for a certain part of the data center. So I have to go back to my drawings, check where see where I'm actually going and see what bone tags need to print out. And so yeah, it was a fun job sort of being responsible for the bone tags. Next thing, big thing was a documentation and forms to be completed. Tech subs, RVs, RFIs. Tech subs are basically big long documents that tell you everything you need to know about a certain. It could be a whole panel, like massive panel that's supplying many amps of current into the data center, or it could be literally the cable basket that just carries the cable. They both have tech subs that basically show you how to install them, every single feature, all the warranty, certification, and where it's applicable on our site, like the drawings that refer to that on our site. So they're very long-winded documents that basically cover our end, just in case there's any issues in the future. So yeah, again, this is quite tedious, as you know, sort of it's a copy and paste job. If you have to copy these certificates in, you have to copy this in. Um, so yeah. And RFI is a request for information. So this is to ask the general contractor on site for information. And RVs are receipt verification. So whenever anything on site got delivered in, you have to take a receipt verification where it's basically you inspect it, take a load of pictures, sign a form to basically say that yeah, this is as we wanted, or report any damages. And yeah, so again, reflection on my future career, working in the construction industry has been completely different to what college has taught me. And yeah, college has helped out a lot with organizational IT skills. Um, Even there was times where I used Ohm's law, which I honestly didn't think I would because I had experience with this sort of internship before. Um, yeah, so again, there's a lot of like obviously if I hadn't been doing this degree for 3 years now, I wouldn't have been able to do this internship. But at the same time, it just tests a whole different side of your sort of skills, like your soft skills, dealing with people, stressful environments. You have five people telling you to do five different things. You have to sort of like prioritize them, or even try delegate them. Even as an intern, that's a bit crazy to say. Um, yeah, and again, I really liked it because again, it's in the real world. I liked sort of the pressure when people are asking you to do stuff and deadlines have to be met and things like that. So yeah, in terms of my future career, the data center industry is definitely something I'd be interested in, as the work is going to be there because it's only getting bigger. There's going to be many data centers built for the foreseeable future, although it may not be there forever. Kirby as a company, as I said, do are in renewables, and most construction companies are in renewables. So um, data centers is definitely something I want to be in, but for my future career, I definitely see myself in renewables as well, and this is um sort of brought an interest to it with me because I found like things like green data centers that are completely ran on renewables, which I find really interesting, and and yeah, so it's definitely given me a direction in my career, which is great because this degree is so open-ended and I can do so much with it. And it's a bit scary leaving college, but yeah. So to finish this, I just want to say I thoroughly enjoyed it. Kirby, an amazing company to work with, and the work was really rewarding. The team was great. I couldn't have a bad thing to say about anyone. Um, and yeah, the fact I got to do this abroad, lived abroad for 6 months, was an amazing experience, one I won't forget. And yeah, so that was my video. Thank you.